He jolted upright. So it wasn't a dream? Then, could it be? I've truly regressed? He had read countless bizarre novels where protagonists died and returned to decades earlier. Never once did he imagine such a thing would happen to him. It took Jean Halbois quite some time to steady his breathing and piece together fragments from his previous life. Unfortunately, perhaps that crimson figure had been too horrifying. Its shadow dominated his mind, leaving behind only scattered memories of major past events. But even that was enough. He turned his head toward his wife, still peacefully asleep at his side, and a firm resolve settled in his eyes. There were still more than 10 years before that catastrophe would descend. With preparation and careful planning, he could surely set a trap and eliminate that crimson figure. First, he had to break into the early-stage Chi refinement realm, then, join the Myriad Immortals Alliance. The truth of his regression was too absurd to reveal. He also needed a way to convince the Alliance that the crimson figure would indeed appear. Drawing upon the mindset of a late-stage Chi refinement cultivator from his past life, Jean Halbois' thoughts began racing with countless strategies. Watching Jean Halbois' rapidly shifting expressions, and seeing no sign that he intended to flee immediately, Lefan nodded slightly. What Jean Halbois believed to be regression was, in truth, nothing more than the effect of Lefan's Cloudwater dream illusion art. Constructing a dream illusion based on glimpses of a true future was more than sufficient to deceive a mere mortal. However, Lefan's mastery of the technique was still incomplete. Even having witnessed fragments of the future, he could not grasp every detail. As a result, the illusion inevitably contained flaws. To strengthen its authenticity, Lefan had paid a significant cost. Even using a diluted Foundation establishment-level version of the Sea-calming sword art, his purpose was to manipulate Jean Halbois into becoming a proxy, pushing the Myriad Immortals Alliance into conflict with Crimson Flame. Lefan wanted to see how the cultivators of Myriad Immortals Island would react if they were forewarned about the sole arbiter of heaven and earth's descent. Naturally, to prevent Jean Halbois from losing his nerve and fleeing, Lefan embedded psychological suggestions into the illusion, planting a sense of responsibility within him, for the sake of family and companions, to stop the impending disaster. For now, the results appeared satisfactory. He would need to revisit periodically to reinforce the illusion through the Cloudwater Dream illusion art. With that thought, Lefan secretly locked onto Jean Halbois using the formless killing mechanism, ensuring he could not slip away unnoticed. The reason Lefan had chosen Jean Halbois as his regressed proxy to incite conflict between the Myriad Immortals Alliance and Crimson Flame was simple. The man's destiny was far from ordinary. In his previous life, despite being a mere mortal, Jean Halbois had somehow sensed the looming calamity and escaped far before it struck. Not only that, he had encountered further opportunities across distant lands. In just over 20 years, he rose from mortal status to a Foundation establishment cultivator. Now, with the cultivation method provided by Lefan, his growth would undoubtedly accelerate. Only then could he participate in, and possibly influence, the catastrophe of Crimson Flame scorching the seas. After watching Jean Halbois drift into deep sleep following his mental exhaustion, Lefan rose into the air, preparing to return to Myriad Immortals Island. Beneath the night sky, most of Lefan Island had fallen silent, shrouded in darkness. Only one residence remained illuminated, its courtyard adorned with white funeral banners. Lefan immediately recognized it. It was the residence of Manager Zhao, formerly responsible for managing Lefan Island's personnel. He halted midair, surprise flashing across his face. Descending into the courtyard, he stepped into the morning hall. Manager Zhao, dressed in mourning attire, knelt before a spirit tablet. Lefan's gaze fell upon the inscription, and he froze momentarily. Spirit tablet of the late immortal master He Zhenghao. He Zhenghao had died. What Lefan felt was not shock, but a deep and unsettling confusion. They said one could never step into the same river twice, yet with return to truth, Lefan could revisit the same river endlessly. Minor actions might create ripples, but should not alter its course, and yet, He Zhenghao's death was entirely unforeseen. Lefan could not help but ask, how did fellow Taoist he meet his end? Manager Zhao started slightly, then quickly turned and replied with respect. It is said immortal master he encountered a trap while exploring an ancient cave dwelling and perished. It has been 56 days since then. Lefan recalled He Zhenghao's earlier words. Some friends discovered an ancient cave dwelling and invited me along. It had been sealed long before the Great Reformation. It should contain numerous treasures, perhaps even rare techniques. In a previous life, Lefan had encountered He Zhenghao more than a decade later, alive and well. Never did he expect such an abrupt end, he pondered. So in that life, he never joined that expedition. The reason for this divergence was clear. He Zhenghao had lost all the contribution points he had accumulated over a lifetime. To obtain that nascent soul technique, he chose to gamble, and the cause of his loss is traced back to the destruction of the spirit mist grass island by the Dracohale exotic beast, leading him to believe there was profit to be made. In that previous timeline, this incident had never occurred, so what triggered the beast's attack? A sudden image flashed across Lefan's mind. Inside the Dracohale's stomach, he had once found numerous undigested liuli pearls, the key material for refining liuli pills. Consuming such pills could induce an effect akin to sudden enlightenment. By devouring vast quantities of liuli pearls, the Dracohale had gradually developed intelligence. Then, by chance, it encountered an island cultivating spirit mist grass. The spirit mist grass must have provided some benefit, prompting the beast to launch a violent assault, devouring most of the island's supply, and the reason it had so many liuli pearls to consume was because, in a lifetime where he merged with the ocean's consciousness, Lefan had once seen the colossal skeleton of a liuli fish. Within it, a massive liuli pearl gleamed beneath the sunlight. In this life, he had casually slain the leader of that liuli fish school while passing by. Without their leader, they were like a kingdom without a ruler, helpless against predators such as the Dracohale. Connecting all the pieces, Lefan stood stunned. An unintentional action of his had led to He Zhenghao's death? And beyond that, how many others, driven by speculation on spirit mist grass prices, had lost everything and taken fatal risks? All of it traced back to that single act, killing the liuli fish leader. Without it, the school fell, the Dracohale consumed vast liuli pearls, and its intelligence awakened. That intelligent beast, through chance, destroyed an entire island of spirit mist grass. News of the destruction was manipulated and spread, leading countless individuals into ruin. In the end, several Foundation establishment cultivators perished prematurely. Each event formed a link in an unbreakable chain. The first links were loose, but each successive one tightened further, until the final chain left no escape. So even Foundation establishment cultivators can be killed so easily. I understand now. This is the true application of heaven and earth's killing mechanisms. Compared to this, formless killing mechanism feels crude. Lefan's thoughts churned as realization dawned. Within the Tianxian mirror, Lin Fan, who had been reading intently, suddenly experienced enlightenment. He immediately activated assisted cultivation mode. Under the epiphanic boost, countless insights flooded his mind. One does not need to strike personally to kill. With the foresight granted by return to truth, I can weave schemes across time and space, just like what happened with He Zhenghao. From 10,000 li away, years in the past, a life can be taken. Had it not been for He Zhenghao's death, Lefan might have taken far longer to comprehend this method, the interlocking chains of life and death. Fellow Taoist He, your death was not in vain. With genuine sincerity, Lefan lit a stick of incense before the spirit tablet. He whispered softly, "Rest in peace. In your next life, I will treat you well." He remained there for a moment, watching the incense burn nearly to ash before turning to leave. Just then, Manager Zhao called out anxiously, "Immortal Master, please wait. You seem to have had a close relationship with Immortal Master He?" Lefan was about to reply when a thought crossed his mind. After a brief pause, he said, "Fellow Taoist He and I have known each other for over 40 years. He treated me with great kindness. I was away on business and had no idea of his passing. Seeing his memorial today came as a shock. I could only offer a stick of incense." He shook his head and sighed. Manager Zhao also sighed. "It has been 26 days since I learned of his death and set up this memorial. You are the first, and only, person to come pay respects. Many immortal masters have visited, but they came either to claim his belongings or compete for the position of Guardian Immortal Master. Now that a new Guardian has taken office, I fear I will lose my position as well. I have also failed to fulfill the final task he entrusted to me, and it weighs heavily on my heart. Fortunately, you have come. Manager Zhao's expression eased, as if a great burden had lifted. Fortunately, you have come. Lefan was taken aback. What task did fellow Taoist he leave behind? Manager Zhao answered honestly. Before his death, Immortal Master, he entrusted me with an item. He said if anything happened to him, it should be given to the first cultivator who came to pay respects. Why would he entrust it to a mortal like you? Lefan asked, surprised. Manager Zhao replied with a mixture of pride and sorrow. To be honest, Immortal Master, in my youth I once saved his life. He wanted to take me as a disciple, but I feared the hardships of cultivation and chose to remain as a servant instead. Over the years, I served him loyally. That is why he trusted me. He quickly turned and retrieved a small square box hidden beneath the spirit tablet, handing it over with slight nervousness. This belonged to Immortal Master he. As for its purpose, I do not know. Lefan opened the box and found a spirit talisman engraved with the word myriad. It seemed familiar, wasn't this? It was the passage talisman required for non-members entering or leaving Myriad Immortals Island for the first time, but what use could it possibly have? Lefan was puzzled yet stored the box away. Looking at the uneasy Manager Zhao, Lefan thought for a moment before saying, I will speak to the new guardian for you, but I cannot guarantee you will keep your position. Manager Zhao was overjoyed and immediately knelt, kowtowing repeatedly. Lefan waved his hand dismissively before flying away. Manager Zhao remained kneeling, not daring to rise. After a long while, he slowly stood up. Gazing at the spirit tablet, he murmured, I've finally handed off that burden. Seeing all those immortal masters flying overhead these past days, I couldn't even sleep. That man spoke truthfully. He was the first to come pay respects. Giving him your belongings fulfills your final wish, and eases my heart. After another long silence, Manager Zhao spoke again. Cultivation. And yet you died before me. No one even came to collect your remains. What is the point of it all?